it's amazing just to finally have a race in my home state, and where I grew up racing and road tripping on those roads with my parents. So I'm so excited just to finally showcase it to the world. Yeah, that's the thing about this race is the altitude, and it's a lot different than a lot of people think, because even in the Tour de France they climb up and they touch 8,000 feet for a second, but then they're down again, and we start at 8,000 feet and then we climb up to 12 and back down to 8. So it's different, and a lot of guys don't realize that altitude climbing is different than even normal climbing. It's almost a different type. Guys who are good climbers are not necessarily good altitude climbers. So that's why us local guys are so excited to get the Euros back here on our home turf and show them what real climbing's about. And it is just handling the altitude and being used to it and knowing what it feels like to breathe that high. And if you go too hard, you start seeing spots and you can almost black out, and guys will be dizzy for sure. Yeah, that's a deceivingly little hard climb. Not a lot of guys know it. I know it just from ski trips up there and riding with my buddies, and yeah, how it just kind of sneaks in right at the end of the stage there, and it's a steep little kicker, and at first you think the climb's almost over, and it just kind of keeps snaking up the side of the mountain, and then the descent is real fast, and I think a lot of guys are going to be hurting over that, especially at the end of a long day. Yeah, when you have a narrow like that, you really have to watch out for rocks on the road, and sometimes the races are swept and sometimes they're not, or even after they sweep the race, some kind of rocks will fall off the side of the cliff. So when you have the cliff face right there, you want to hug the cliff face so you don't fall off the cliff, but at the same time you got to watch out for rocks that have or pebbles that have fallen off the side of the road in the middle of a corner, because that could send you down too. So yeah, you really got to be on top of it and really focused in on what you're doing. Yeah, Lookout Mountain is, I don't know how hard it'll be. I mean, it's a hard climb. I won the race when it was just a Colorado local race a few years ago, and it's a really hard climb, but it comes pretty early in the stage, so I see that as more of like a final fight for the KOM jersey, more so than the GC, unless the GC hasn't been decided by then. But and it's hard, and you do go through Mines Corner, and there's some steep little ramps through there, and then it kind of levels out, and the final day of racing, guys are gonna be tired from a week of trying to recover and sleeping so high at altitude, and that's gonna be the final place for fireworks for the race. So anyone who hasn't gained what they wanted or doesn't have anything to lose, like, they go for broke there. So it'll be fun to watch.